Hello, welcome to this update. So let's just see what's still happening with Hurricane Rafael. It hit Cuba yesterday into today, category 3 in western Cuba, and now it's in the southern Gulf, and you'll probably curve down to the southwestern Gulf later. There's also this disturbance at 20%, so a little bit less probabilities than it was yesterday, but still will bring the possibility of some heavy rains in the northeastern Caribbean, maybe Puerto Rico, southeastern Bahamas, and northern Hispaniola in the next few days. So be aware, there's this tropical depression in the eastern Pacific, it's just lost out there in the ocean, and no tropical storm force winds. But now there's in the Gulf, let's see what they have. So still uh, there in the southern Gulf, no warnings currently because you stay out there in the ocean, but it's forecast to go west, then curve maybe further down near Mexico. So let's see if there's something else. So they still say here like Hurricane Rafael will continue to bring periods of heavy rain to western Cuba today. Flash flood and mudslides are still possible along higher terrain. Rafael is forecast to move slowly over south central Gulf of Mexico this weekend and early next week. Interesting, the southern southwestern Gulf should monitor the progress of the system, especially in Mexico there along the Gulf coast of Mexico. And the rainfall potential still uh, more in Cuba there, close to 150 to 100 millimeters. And in the Yucatan, some rain like 25 to 50 millimeters, and yeah, more in the north there. So be aware that tropical storm force winds probabilities across the Gulf there in the waters, maybe a little bit gustier in southern Louisiana and the northern Yucatan, but nothing that crazy. So there's the 50 knot wind probabilities out there in the ocean, and the hurricane force winds mainly in the ocean there. So be careful in those areas. It's there now, category 2, so it weakened a little bit, but most models curve down into Mexico through the southwestern Gulf, and some go north again there. But yeah, this is a new trend, but most forecasts say it'll go down maybe into Mexico. So now it's a category 2. Model 2 shows like category 3 again, but it will mainly start to weaken into a category 1 tropical storm. If it reaches Mexico, it might be close to tropical storm or even category 1, depending on the model, but most just show tropical storm by then. Some show here the GFS ensembles. Now the GFS has some different ideas. It's curving this back into Louisiana and the northeastern Gulf, but some members are still going down. But as you can see, the members that are going north are very weak, barely a tropical storm or something. So yeah, but they're the Canadian members. They are also curving back up, passing just south of Louisiana. So we need to watch this next trend because some hurricane models are also starting to curve it back. So, but for now, the forecast says it will go down there into Mexico. So let's see here. There's the North Atlantic. So Rafael is there. The GFS has it going there, kind of weakening a lot and getting caught into a front and just staying there. And later the GFS is more craziness in the Caribbean, and yeah, but don't mind that because the GFS is, so there's a Canadian model, goes there and kind of gets caught into that front and weakens and brings a little bit of rain in the southeast. And then like the icon goes there. The icon is also showing it interacting with that front there and kind of dissipating, but the low pressure might try to go back south, but very weak, almost nothing to Mexico. And the icon does have another system trying to spin up near Jamaica by the middle to last part of this month, especially like mid-November. There's the Neptune has Rafael there, and the Neptune still going towards Louisiana, and there's the other disturbance near like the northeastern Caribbean, maybe some range to the southern Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, and yeah. There's the European model too, bears 0C, has Rafael there. It goes, the European model still showing southwestern Gulf into Mexico, but barely a tropical storm, very weak. So be aware in those areas, but nothing that crazy. The European AI model is going into getting caught into that front and near the US. But yeah, be aware there. There's the hurricane models too. So the HRF, it has it there. In the southern Gulf, it goes, weakens a lot, and that's right, like southern Mexico or something. So if we check like the HRF parent, it does try to dive back down into Mexico, but very weak. It does have some low pressures later in the Caribbean to watch. There's the H1, so here the 60 variables. So here it's there in the southern Gulf. It goes, and the H1, it weakens a lot, barely nothing, as it might approach southern Mexico, like barely a storm. So it might be very weak there. Those, what's that here? So there's Rafael there, goes, and then does have a lingering there and kind of diving into Mexico, very, very weak. There's the Hefs B, goes there, that was yesterday. So goes and kind of lingers there and struggles to decide if it goes north or south. But the half speed does have the final low pressure going back into Mexico, but very weak too. Most models barely show a tropical storm as it gets to Mexico there. So be aware, and like the old symbols from the European does show this diving back south into Mexico. A member or two goes north, but mainly diving back south. And watching further, the European ensembles do have a low pressure too in the Caribbean, might by mid November or something to watch. So we'll watch that. This like November 17th and some lost stuff in the Atlantic. But that season, the Northeastern Caribbean, barely nothing, just a weak low pressure. There's the GFS, the next 240 hours. It does have, it's split between Northern Gulf and Southern Gulf, but most members go towards Northern Gulf as as a very weak storm, or um, or getting caught into that front array, very weak. But the GFS does have more support in the southern, southwestern, northwestern Caribbean for something, even to the eastern Caribbean. The GFS has some members forming something, so we'll have to watch that. And mm, let's see the rainfall maybe. So here, here, the Caribbean there. So, like the next 60 hours, this is the Canadian model. I'll show you the other ones in the other place there. And so it still has some heavy downpours in Costa Rica and Nicaragua and parts of Panama. So be aware there's still some heavier downpours. Most of west and northern Colombia and other areas, and shows more across the eastern Caribbean. Those waves, those showers and storms there. Be aware that the Dominican Republic, some more showers and storms too, especially in the northern parts, and some in Cuba still in the Yucatan from this. So be careful. Now here there's like the European put until the 12th. It has more in the Eastern Caribbean, not very much, but like 60 millimeters, 50, 40, those areas of showers and storms passing by. So be aware, especially during thunderstorms. Shows more than Northeastern Caribbean, so 65 millimeters there. It does have a tiny surge of moisture just south of Dominican Republic, with like 100 millimeters the southern Dominican Republic next 5 days. So this is mainly yeah, it shows throughout most of these days, starting Friday, the moisture there. So be aware, Turks and Caicos, southeastern Bahamas might get some more showers and storms in eastern Cuba. So be aware because of that disturbance there. But in Central America, it's still showing some very ridiculous amounts in Costa Rica, 400, 300 millimeters, 100, like more than 100 millimeters, 90% of Costa Rica. So this might be very crazy. Be careful with flooding, except on some eastern portions. There are some 70, 60 millimeters. It does show most of northern Panama, more than 100, close to 200, southern Panama, and some other areas. And Panama City is some 68 millimeters, and yeah, so be careful there. And some heavier downpours spreading to southern Nicaragua to some 52, 150 millimeters, uh, 157, so be careful there. Southern Honduras, northwest Nicaragua, most of eastern Nicaragua, some more showers and storms, northeastern Honduras, and so yeah, some more lingering showers and storms there. Nicaragua, some more showers on the Pacific and some more thunderstorms. El Salvador's a storm or two as well in the afternoon. More Guatemala, some showers and storms, some showers in Belize, but nothing crazy. And in the Yucatan, there's some more thunderstorms and some showers, but nothing that crazy. Less. But shows in Mexico where this system might head about 177 millimeters, shows 73 millimeters in other areas, so like 100 millimeters in other areas there. Southern Mexico, 20 millimeters, 63 millimeters. So be aware, some more showers and storms there. And yeah, it has some in Jamaica, a little bit of rain. The central Cuba, still some in western Cuba, so be careful. The GFS has more like eastern Cuba, more than 50 millimeters, in the eastern Dominican Republic as well, and like in the central eastern Caribbean, does have more than 70 millimeters in Saint Lucia, close to 73 millimeters in Barbados, some 72 in some East of the Granting. So be aware, there's some passing showers and storms that might be heavier. And yeah, in the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos shows some more lingering showers and storms, especially in Panama and Costa Rica. The GFS still has reports of 300 millimeters southern Panama, and most of Panama more than 100, 80 millimeters, and etc. And does show in Costa Rica still some 300, 379 millimeters. So please be careful with flooding those areas, flash flooding and river flooding and everything, especially because we had multiple days of heavy rain. So be aware. Western Nicaragua, the GFS is like a lot as well, more than 200 millimeters. Southern Honduras, be careful. In other parts of Nicaragua and Guatemala and El Salvador, some more thunderstorms. So be careful. But you see the GFS curving this north into the northern Gulf and not going to Mexico. So the models are still split. The icon has like kind of lingering a little bit more, and maybe those fronts in the US might have some heavy rain from time to time, and shows more like in Nicaragua, Southern Honduras goes more than 80 millimeters. In the Pacific or Guatemala, Mexico does show some points of 85 millimeters in some areas, especially Costa Rica, more than 200 millimeters, 270. So be careful in Panama and Costa Rica and those other areas. But the icon still showing a lot near uh, near Saint Lucia, Martinique, close to 100 millimeters, Barbados 70 millimeters. So be aware in those areas. It's showing Puerto Rico, like not Puerto Rico, but Virgin Islands, more than 124 millimeters, some 80 millimeters, parts of Puerto Rico, and some other islands of 60 to 70 millimeters. And the Turks and Caicos does have some more concentration of showers and storms, close to 90 and 80 millimeters. So be aware in those areas. And still like some gustier winds near the system. The Keys a little bit gustier, and with these other disturbance maybe a tiny bit gustier in other areas. This goes there and dives down. The European has it diving down to Mexico by next Tuesday with some gusty winds there, and the GFS just has it there and weakening a lot with that front in the northern Gulf. So be aware of those areas. Plus, if this rebase in the Gulf, you'll be those waves, the chance of rip currents. So be aware of those swells there in the Gulf. And also a little bit larger seas near the northeastern Caribbean and the greater Antilles because of these disturbances. Maybe we might have a front on next Tuesday, shows a little bit bigger waves too, but nothing that crazy. So be aware, a tiny bit bigger on the Pacific side of Central America, and yeah, be aware. And this mainly it. So in terms of severe weather, still have that slight risk by parts of Texas and a marginal extent to southeastern New Mexico too. So tornado threats now 5%. Texas is Texas, yeah, and a 2%. So be careful there, especially the 5%. Wind 15 and 5%. So be aware, and hail also 15 and 5%. So be aware. Let's see, large hail, isolated severe thunderstorm gusts, and a few tornadoes are possible this evening tonight across West Texas. So be aware, like this evening tonight there across Texas, and tomorrow still a marginal in Texas, such like 2% tornadoes, Central Texas, wind 5% and hail 5% too. So be aware there. Isolated severe thunderstorms are possible early evening Friday parts of north central Texas. So be aware. And Saturday just some general risk of storms along that front there. So be aware. Now like the her does show here like uh, that snow in New Mexico and everything. Still some showers and storms near the southeast, but it shows later today those storms firing across Texas. If you put like south here, you can see later this afternoon. Shows central to west of Texas those storms, and might some look severe by the looks of this. So be careful. Some isolated tornadoes and wind, especially hail. And this goes there. Tonight, still showing more storms west Texas, southeast and New Mexico tonight. Rain in Oklahoma too. And tomorrow Friday, more rain across Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas. Maybe some more severe storms near central northern Texas Friday afternoon and evening tomorrow. So be careful there. The Cape's mainly higher in like near the Gulf, but does show this evening to south central Texas a little bit more Cape, and tomorrow in eastern Texas there and north central Texas where those storms will be. So be careful for there with the tornado threat and everything. And now the snow the next 48 hours still shows close to like 60, even like more than 60, 70 inches in those higher areas of New Mexico. You see that white there? That's more than 60 inches of snow, close to a foot. So be careful. There's still some heavier snow. We had a bunch of snow yesterday, and more to come across northern New Mexico, far west Oklahoma Panhandle, northwesternmost Texas Panhandle, some in western Kansas, but mainly in Colorado and New Mexico, that heavy snow. So be careful there still. The snow, and be aware too of the colder temperatures, especially in the high elevations and many areas. And the wind gusts might be higher in the Great Lakes today. And the northeast does show some occasional higher gusts near northern New York and New Hampshire, and Southern California, a gust or two still. And yeah, so be aware there. Now here, like, let's quickly see this, because with all that the extreme fire danger and everything yesterday, we did have a fire breakout near Southern California. So you can see this is all smoke here, a trail of smoke near Santa Paula in some areas. So be careful with the smoke, the air quality, and the active fires and everything. So still here, like it shows still a critical fire threat today there, Southern California, and elevated. So be careful there. Some gusty winds, dry conditions, and an active fire or two already burning. So be careful. The wind warnings, red flag warnings there, and some freeze warnings, the higher elevations, freeze warnings, southern Arizona, winter storm warnings, weather advisories, and winter storm watches, small freeze watching in southwestern Utah, and the flood watches there, parts of the southeastern Texas and Oklahoma. So be aware those areas. Now here does show that the heavy snow possible, the snow there, the severe weather, and the areas of flash flooding and Hurricane Rafael. So be careful, some are mixed precipitation stuff in other areas. Now excessive rainfall is light winds in the southeast and central southern plains. So be careful, some periods of heavy rain, some flash flooding. For Friday, a big area of light winds there in the southern central plains. So be aware because of all that rain with that system there might be some flash flooding. Day 3 still a slight twist into the mid-south. Day 4 marginal along the mid-south and Ohio Valley in some areas, and the margin of the northwest. Day 5 the northwest too. So be aware. And day 2 here still shows some heavy snow possible. New Mexico, Colorado, some mixed precipitation. The flash flooding and mixed precipitation in the northeast and northwest. Some storms. Day 3 more in the northwest, some mixed precipitation. The Rockies and more storms there, central areas. So be careful. Day 3, and the quantity of precipitation does show more, like this is Thursday through Friday. Today shows more in the southeast, close to 2.5 inches, and close to 3 inches near Texas, Oklahoma. shows more Friday, tomorrow. Oklahoma, Kansas, some heavy rain. Texas, and day 3 across Louisiana shows more. Tennessee, some areas there, some the northwest area. And Sunday shows more the northwest from Washington to Northern California, and some on the east still. Day 5 shows more the northwest carrots, rain and snow, and some showers in the southeast. Day 6 shows more central US, central Canada, some more rain in the northwest. Day 7 more in the northwest, there is some in the northeast and some rain out there. Day 1 through 7 shows a lot in the northwest with those systems close to 5 inches or more. Shows a lot in central Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, uh, Louisiana, Tennessee, and those areas. So be aware there. The snowfall probability is very high. Snowfall probabilities in those areas. So be aware. New Mexico and Colorado. Be careful driving there and traveling and doing other stuff. Day 2 still high for Friday. The snowfall there. Day 3 starts climbing in the northwest in British Columbia and a figure 2 in Washington. But day 4 shows more northern Washington. Day 5 in Idaho, California, and more across the mountains there until day 7, which is next Wednesday. So be aware there. We still have some major to extremes winter storm severity index there. Many areas of extremes, so please be careful there with the snowfall amount, some snow load, and blowing snow a little bit as well. And yes, so stay safe there. Be careful those areas. Extremely dangerous or impossible driving conditions. Travel is not advised. Extensive widespread closures, disruptions to infrastructure may occur. Life-saving actions needed. So be careful there. And yeah, so this mainly it. Stay safe there and be careful.